Hey sweet friends, welcome back to my channel, Lazy Creek Homestead. I'm Nicole. On my channel I like to share things like shopping hauls and what's for dinner, lots of recipe inspiration. I like to sprinkle in a little bit of mom life and what's going on our homestead. Today I am going to share with you a quick little garden update, sharing with you my new raised beds and my one in garden spot. I can't wait to show you how good and maybe not so good everything's doing this year. So let's get to it. The pumpkins are taking over. They are huge. There is pumpkins sprouting everywhere. These pumpkins are going to be white. There's a good one growing there. There's an itty bitty baby one. There's another pumpkin growing there. See, the pumpkins have just totally taken over this bed. We can get closer. My sunflowers have been eaten up so much, but we have some sunflowers in this bed. And there was 3 zucchini plants that I put in the middle. There's one there. Because I thought these pumpkins would just vine out and that the sunflowers and the zucchinis would be in the middle of the bed. But the pumpkins have just completely taken over, which I am not mad about. Look at the leaves. Just, look at that. It's crazy. Still morning and some of the flowers are open over here. My honeybees are really working hard on these guys. This is one of my new beds this year up here in my top garden. This one is struggling. I had put lots of seeds in here, probably around the beginning of June maybe. And this is really all that sprouted. I put a lot of calendula and couple different type of flowers that had medicinal purposes, and I think this is calendula, and this is like the only row of this that came up. I have a little bit of chamomile here. I threw in some loofah seeds and those guys are trying there on the end. Somebody gave me a melon and I stuck that there. That's a cucumber seed that I put in there that is surprisingly starting to go. And then I put in some of, I can never say the name right, but I love these flowers, nasturtiums or something close to that. I put in a mix of those here and those are doing really well. And then I transplanted a few of the squash that were not doing well from my garden down back about a week or so ago over here. We'll see what happens. And this is my little hibiscus plant that my lovely little goat ate. So now we have this fence turning around in a circle. This bed is doing really good. These peppers were eaten from my little goat April. So I didn't think they were going to come back, so I threw in a couple of tomatoes, and the tomatoes are exploding. I have a hard time with pruning the tomatoes. I always feel bad about it. But so I threw in a few little more of those nasturtiums on this side. The peppers are starting to grow back. You can see some buds on those, so that is promising. We got our wild tomato jungle and my garden kitty Luna. To go around her. In the middle here we have some carrots growing, some more of the peppers that are starting to come back, another one of those tomato plants that have just totally taken off. There's 3, they were just little tiny seedlings. And then I threw some shade flower mix here, and I had put it in a bunch of places. My garden down back is very shaded, and this is where it's grown. So we got a nice little mix of things growing in here. And then I planted a bunch of a mix of seeds and flowers here, and I'm not sure honestly what is what, if these are just wild weeds, so on, whatever you'd like to call them, or if they're going to be sunflowers, but I just left a good bunch here because I just wasn't sure. A few on this side. And this is what I like to call my front yard up top garden. There's these 2 beds here, and then my little in-ground spot where the pumpkins have completely taken over. And that's just a short little update of how my new garden space is going.